6.2, difference of two squares. So our first objective here is to recognize that we have a difference of two squares. So first and foremost, we're going to go through how can we recognize this? How do we find out we have a difference of two squares? Well, what is the difference of two squares? So to be a difference of two squares, two conditions must be true. So first we must look at these two conditions. The first condition must be two terms. There must be two terms, both squares. So example of two terms are 4x squared, 9x squared, 16y squared. Notice 4x squared, that's 2x, and I can square that. This one would be 3x, parentheses squared. This would just be a 4 squared y squared. Also, there must be a minus sign between the two terms. So when we have two terms together, we must have a minus sign. So we're looking for two terms, both to be squares, and a minus sign. So, is this a difference of two squares? Well, is 9x squared a square? Well, 9x can be written as 3x squared, because remember, you distribute that square. So yes, that's a square. Minus, and 36 can be written as 6 squared. So this is a difference of two terms, because it's 9x. 9x is 3x squared minus 6 squared. So our answer would be yes. How about, is negative 4x squared plus 16 a difference of two terms? Well, there is a minus sign, but the minus sign is over here. So I'm not quite sure. Let's see. Is there a way to rewrite it so that they have a minus sign between them? Well, I could write it as 16 minus 4x squared. Okay, so now we have a minus sign. 16 is just 4 squared minus 2x squared. So they are a difference of two squares. So yes, this is also a difference of two squares. So let's think about this a little bit. Is the polynomial or difference of two squares? So this first one would be, yes, they're both squared, and there's a minus sign, so yes. The second one, the x is squared, but the y is cubed. And remember, we need it to be squared, so the second one would be no. Third one, immediately we see a plus sign, so we're going to say no. And the last one here, the x is squared, and 1 squared is still 1, so the 1 is technically squared. So we have a yes. So one of the things that we need to remember is 1 squared is always still just going to be 1. So we can always just square it, and it will be squared. So here are two problems for you to try. Do your best. We'll check it in class.